All right, moving on now. It's the question we have to ask often. Are our smoke alarms working? If you live outside Queensland or the Northern Territory, the answer may be more complicated than you think.
Most of us feel secure in the knowledge that we have smoke detectors installed in our homes, alarms that we test regularly, and wave tea towels out every time we burn the toast. But do you know which type you have? Because there are two primary types of smoke alarms, and an argument is raging over which works better. One of them, the ionisation alarm, is considered so unreliable that it has been banned in some parts of Australia, but remains in common use everywhere else.
If there's one and one only and you had to make a decision, our association position is it's photoelectric in the first instance.
With modern furniture and modern furnishings and the rapid involvement of fire because of the synthetic fibres that are now used, then there should be a place for ionisation.
A study conducted by FRNSW New South Wales found that the ionisation alarms responded to fast flaming fires on average 53 seconds faster than the rest. But the other main type of detector, the photoelectric alarm, responds on average 30 seconds faster than ionisation alarms when faced with a smouldering fire.
An example of a fast flaming fire could be a fat fire on a stove that develops quickly. A slow smouldering fire might be something like a cigarette butt that's dropped down a lounge.
Ionisation alarms have been criticised for failing to activate at the crucial moment. Following a deadly house fire in 2011 that killed 11 people, the Queensland coroner recommended photoelectric alarms be made mandatory. Ionisation alarms are now banned in Queensland and the Northern Territory, but are still in regular use across the rest of the country.
On one side of the road in Queensland, you've got one set of rules. And this side, New South Wales, you've got another set of rules, and it just doesn't make any sense at all.
A bit stupid that across the road someone's a bit safer than we are here in New South Wales.
You struggle to find the logic in it, really.
So if you live outside of Queensland or the NT, what should you do?
Best practice for fire safety in your home is to have interconnected multiple alarms in each bedroom and living space. If one goes off, then they all go off.
Well, Craig Crawford is Queensland's Fire and Emergency Services Minister. He joins us now from Brisbane's Parliament House. Queensland is one of only 2 states or territories in Australia that's banned the ionisation alarm. What's wrong with them? What makes them so dangerous in your view?
Well, look, we're not going to get into an argument about whether ionisation or photoelectric is better. And I've seen certainly the research that argues all around. But what we had is in 2011, we had a very significant house fire up here called the Slacks Creek house fire, and we lost 11 lives. Following that, our fire department did some reviews. Out of that review was the decision to implement photoelectric into our properties.
But you must think the ionisation alarm is inferior, otherwise you wouldn't have banned them.
Well, the evidence to us says that photoelectric is better for detecting the smouldering fire. Now, I'm an old firefighter myself. I spent 20 years in CFA in Victoria, so I've seen firsthand how fires actually develop in houses, and just giving someone 30 seconds to a minute makes all the difference.
It comes at a cost, though. I understand that the new alarms are more expensive, and so people might be reluctant to spend the money on them. And, you know, if they don't, who's out there anyway checking, Craig, what alarms people have got in their homes?
So we introduced a process whereby we're phasing this in over 10 years. All smoke alarms have a date where they become, you know, unusable or they don't work anymore. So if you have that situation, we've legislated that you must replace that existing smoke detector with a photoelectric one. So we're allowing people time to adjust.
Craig, for those watching at home who don't know what kind of alarm they have in their house, how do they tell?
So there's a couple of ways. If you can actually get hold of the alarm and bring it down from the ceiling or wherever you've got it stored. The photoelectric ones have got a letter P in them, and the ionisation ones have got an I. If you see a radioactive symbol on it, it's most likely that you've got an ionisation one. So they're probably the easiest way.
Craig, thanks very much for talking to us tonight.
No worries.
Common areas of the apartment block I lived in the other day, the smoke alarms were beeping. I went to work. When I came back home, some genius, instead of putting new batteries into the smoke alarms, had got a ladder out, climbed up, unscrewed them all, took all the batteries out, and they're all just left there hanging. So fire sweeps through there tonight, I'm dead.
Well, you're not there, so... You're not, but other people are.
Not fun.
I think it is quite confusing, though.
Well, that's
right?
confusing.
I think it's difficult when some states are doing one thing and other states are doing another. And, you know, obviously all the governments that have those regulations are trying to say that they're doing the right thing, but it doesn't give you much
Kerry, when was
assurance.
the last time you replaced the batteries in your smoke alarm?
Funnily enough, on the weekend we just did. So, yes, do
Check
it.
them
Start of
tonight
every
if you
year,
get a
do
chance.
it. Yeah.
All right.